get this thing recorded. Happy Tuesday. We have our Trading Tuesday call here tonight. And I know there's a lot of places that you guys could be here on this absolutely incredible Tuesday night. However, I am so happy and grateful you are here with us tonight. And I know that we're going to have this thing recorded so we can throw it up on YouTube, put it on our 1% Movement website, and have this for purposes for people that can't make it, that are working, but also to go back and review. But I'm just so excited for our guest here tonight, someone I've known for an incredibly long time, longer than I've been trading, longer than I've been in iMarkets Live, and to see what he's been able to do and what he's going to go over tonight. I've got my blue pen and my notebook out, and I'm definitely going to be taking some notes. But before we get into that, I want to talk to you guys about making power moves. I want to talk to you guys about making power moves. There's a guy by the name of Ryan Stewman on Instagram. His name's Hardcore Closer. He has the largest Facebook page of salespeople in the world. He has over 100,000 active e-commerce salespeople, people that like professionally sell. That's what they do. They are professional salespeople. And he is the largest, I guess you could say, promoter for ClickFunnels. Maybe you guys heard of ClickFunnels. Russell Brunson. He's a guy probably live right now or earlier today with Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins. The guy who created ClickFunnels, just insane story. But I got to meet Ryan Stewman at a networking event last week, and he talked about making power moves. And so tonight, your first couple notes, I want you to write down power moves. You know, I want to make power moves. And what is making a power move? You see, you can put energy all sorts of different directions. You can put energy into, you know, entering a 0.01 on GN. You can put energy into, you know, making a new prospecting list. But what he talked about is the difference between 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10-figure earners and everybody else isn't their work ethic, isn't how much time they put in, really isn't anything special other than that they spend their energy on making power moves. They spend their energy on making big plays. They spend their energy on making really, really key decisions and working with some really, really big people. And so tonight could be a power move for you. And it simply could be learning how to become an expert on one of our most amazing products this company has to offer with the Web Analyzer. And so whether it's recruiting up and networking with a very high influential person in network marketing, or just a high influencer, a college athlete, someone who owns their own business, someone who's already wealthy, whether it's networking with that and building your organization and recruiting up, or whether it's learning a new skill set trading, I want you to focus. If you want to become the top 1%, which is why we're the 1% movement, then you've got to learn to make power moves. And tonight, you could do that. You could simply make a power move by investing that 15, 20 minutes or so here, getting the breakdown from the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Stephen Hooley. So without further ado, I'm going to mute myself and shut up and take some notes to make a power move and pass this thing over to Stephen, man. Are you there?
I'm here. Thanks for the warm welcome. You guys, I'm super excited to be here with you tonight. And I'm grateful too, because gratitude is it's a big deal for power moves. And speaking of power moves, I kind of like that intro because I'm going to show you guys tonight not only about the software, but how you can build with it. Like seriously, I know you guys are here for many different reasons. Some of you are here specifically because you want to build a business. Some of you want to learn how to trade, and some of you want to do both. And both are really important. Both are really awesome. And I'm going to show you how you can do both. So if you have your notepads and your pens, awesome. If you don't, pull out your phone, take notes with whatever you need to, and let's get going. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you guys are able to see this software. So you guys, this is the IML Web Analyzer, and you log into it with your IML back office, okay? Now, this is a brand new piece that we added to the Web Analyzer probably a couple of months ago. And I'm going to be totally honest and transparent with you guys. It was birthed from simply because our users said, hey, Stephen, we love the Web Analyzer, but it's a little intimidating to some new people. and sometimes it can be a little confusing for the new people. Once we get it, once we learn it, it's phenomenal. And we have a whole Facebook group of people who, once they put in the time to learn it, they just started winning, and it goes like wildfire. But as an entrepreneur and as someone who actually started his tech career in customer service many years ago, I learned the value of listening to my customers and understanding what can make something better. And so this was birthed from that. And really what this is it ties in all the key features of the product into one place, one single place, and makes it clean and easy. But it also makes it really easy for you to present this to other people, to groups of people, put it on a TV, whatever you need to do. It's a great recruiting tool. We've actually got a lot of feedback from the field of how much they like this homepage and its ability to just easily present. Because this is pretty much the flow, you guys. You log in and you hit this page. If you need to play something that's a little bit inspirational, but it's short, it's sweet, it's to the point, we have a little video right here. And basically what this video tells you is this is a gentleman who he used to work in the investment banking space as a consultant. Okay, so he worked for one of these three top companies, and to protect him, we name one of these three, right? Goldman Sachs, Merrill Lynch, Morgan Stanley. He was one of many consultants that flew around the country and a little bit of the world teaching their investment banking software. You know, in 2009, Morgan Stanley, you can fact check all this, it was around 2009, Morgan Stanley bought up Smith Barney, and some other banks were making some huge power plays, okay? So around that 2007 crash, there was a bunch of banks who they were actually profiting and losing, some of them losing, some of them profiting, but they were trying to figure out what tools, what investments and different things they could do, okay? So this gentleman was in one of those banks, and he happened to know a lot about a trading software because he flew around and he taught it. So his knowledge was pretty intimate. Now, I vetted this guy because I was like, nah, dude, when he came to me, I was like, there's no way what you're telling me is the truth, because he came to me, 2017 in Vegas, actually, for an IML convention. He said, Steven, he told me his story. He told me everything I'm telling you. And he said, Steven, your software is just as good as some of these investment banking software, but better for the layman. I made him give me his resume. I made him give me a couple of different references. I called those references. They work at the investment bank. He told me it was incredible. So the reason I'm explaining this to you is so that when you go and show this to the field, or when you use this yourself, I want you to understand that this software is comparable by a guy who used to work for investment banks to a $500 million investment banking software. And there was another gentleman I had, I have a friend in California. He compared this to another investment bank software and says it's better than what they have. So the reality is you guys have something accessible from your fingertips, your phone, your laptop, your computer, as long as you have an internet connection that the banks actually have. And I've actually got a few friends on the inside of a couple of different banks myself, and they're pretty impressed with what we have. In fact, they're looking at iMarkets Live. So that's the first portion, and you're welcome to explain that or just play the video, whatever you want. It's like 1 or 2 minutes. It's super short and sweet. But you flow down, and through this, I'm going to go over these tiers and present these to you guys, and so you guys can kind of see the flow that I go through and duplicate it yourselves if you need. But we have 3 tiers of service in the Web Analyzer now. This was not the case when we first started, so this is new. And tier 1 is no analysis needed. So there's trade ideas that come with your Web Analyzer subscription, and then this is an additional add-on to the Web Analyzer. Now, either way, the whole premise of this tier is that no analysis is needed. It's like literally you get the analysis, I'll show you, and you choose what to do with it, right? So you can see right here, this is an update. This is a buy on USD CAD, right? You've got somebody thinking about this, right? So it's essentially a trade idea. You can simply just copy and paste it, okay? But you choose what you do with it. And when you're presenting it, it's important you also use that verbiage as well, okay? So you use tier 1, and it's good for anybody who can come into the company and they don't know what they're doing. If you think about it, when we present to people, when we show people the opportunity, they don't know anything about Forex usually. They don't know about trading. They're interested. They want to get to know it, but it can be intimidating. It can be something where they want to get started, but the slightest thing can turn them off. So the easier way to go about it is to give them something where they don't have to do any analysis up front. They can earn while they learn. And so tier 1 is a really important piece that we added this year because we saw the value in it. And tier 2 is just kind of a step below that. Tier 2 is little to no analysis. This came from, we had a lot of users say, hey, we liked the original style of the web analyzer, but we kind of wish those strategies, and I'll go over all this in a minute, those strategies were rolled into one alert. So what I mean by, imagine if you're playing football and you guys know that you guys have plays, right? Or football has plays. There's playbooks. You know that when you're on an opposing team, you got to pick the right play to win the game, or maybe multiple plays to win the game, right? So in the web analyzer, your plays are what we call strategies, right? Kind of similar verbiage. They're your rules. They're what you do to execute, okay? And if your rules say execute, then you execute. If your rules don't say execute, then you don't. In these power trades, the rules are rolled into the alert. So when the computers find these rules in the market, it says, hey, look here, I found it. And it's all rolled in. Now, this should take you 30 seconds or less once you get the hang of it. And I'll break this down real quick. The first two are going to be the best for people who they like longer trades. They take more time to play out. And you don't want to have as much time on the computer. So you want to make sure that basically you place the trade, you can walk away, monitor a little bit, and check back every now and again. Those are the first two, okay? These two right here. This is primarily crypto with Crypto Picasso. If you guys have heard of Swipecoin and the crypto legend, Crypto Picasso, this comes from him. He teaches every Wednesday at 3 p.m. EST on this power trade. And then this one, regular Forex, okay? These next two are for intraday traders. And what that means is they're for people who want something to happen inside the day. It could take all day, but they want it to happen in the day. So they want it to be a little bit longer than just quick action, but not too long. They don't want to wait too long, right? Because with the first two, you could wait a day, you could wait 2. Your catch, it's going to be like catching a big fish, right? But it's going to take longer to catch that big fish versus a smaller fish, right? Your last two are what we call scalping. Scalping is short trades. You're taking little pieces out of the market, just little pieces here and there. You're in, you're out. It's fast-paced usually. It can be risky. So if you like fast-paced action, you want to be there at the computer, you want to take a lot of trades during the day, those last two are for you, okay? These two right here. And the nice thing is you yourself can come on here. You can click learn more. You can learn all about this before you ever touch it. So if you go click learn more, like right here, you watch this video and you're like, you know what? I actually don't like that very much. I'm going to move on to this one, or I'm going to move on to this one. You find the one you like, that's great, and then go use it. And it'll teach you all about it. So your play that I mentioned, it'll teach you your play. And then you can execute that. And again, little to no analysis means 30 seconds or less. Because the whole idea that I wanted to implement here with the web analyzer is I want you to be able to go to the beach, get an alert on your phone. It's money-making time. Push some buttons, be done, go back to the beach. Put your toes in the sand, go put your feet in the water, go play with your kids if you have kids. I don't want you to spend too much time because I want to help you make time for what's important. Because we all know that if we're chasing money and we have no time, we're really just broke, right? True wealth comes from having time as well as whatever financial resources we need to live life the way we want to live it, okay? Now, tier 3 is the original portion of the web analyzer that we launched with. This is what people are used to, but we kind of packaged it up in a lot easier way for people to both be introduced to and utilize, okay? So most people don't know that the web analyzer is its core. It's finding what we call volume bursts. And for those of you who are new and you're watching this presentation or you're watching this video, you don't know what that means. Basically, volume in any market picture it this way. If I'm buying and Christian is selling, we're creating volume, okay? If we're buying a lot and selling a lot, we're creating more volume. Now, I want you guys to understand that normally I ask this question, but for the sake of time, I'll just let you guys understand the concept, okay? When you're in a market, if it's not moving, it's not usually a good time to get into the market, okay? Because if you break it down like this, when the market fluctuates, right? The market goes up, it goes down. We measure that in pips. That's what we call them, pips, okay? Or if you're in a security, which is something like a stock or US 30 or an indice, that's points, right? But we measure in points and pips. If you can't find points or pips because the market's not moving, if you can't catch them, you have no potential to make money. I'll say that again. You have no potential to make any money. You have to be catching points or catching pips in order to have any potential to make money. So if pips and fluctuations in the market, if that comes from the buys and the sells that me and Christian are making from the volume, then one of the most advantageous times to enter into any market would be a volume burst. And so tier 3 of the web analyzer focuses on finding those bursts of buys and sells in the market. And then I wrote a proprietary piece that with a fair degree of accuracy says, is this a move upward or is this a move downward? And then it's made to be paired with one of our custom strategies, which I'm sure some of you, if you've been around here long enough, have heard of some of these. The sheriff strategy, the Granville strategy, the money flow strategy, the list goes on. We literally have something for everybody in here. These are your plays. This is like your playbook, you guys. These are one of many different plays you can execute in the market, okay? So let's say right now a really popular one is ECC 11 for Ecclesiastes 11 from the Bible. The creator of it's Dr. Kathy Kirkland. And if you go read that verse, it basically talks about how the Bible endorses you getting into foreign trade. Forex, right? So it's a very simple strategy. Dr. Kathy Kirkland teaches this to children. It uses the Ichimoku cloud, a few different settings, and you basically just watch for some lines to go up. It's your rules, right? When the rules happen, you say, okay, great. So let me show you. If we go click Save Settings, because this is usually the strategy that I say, if you're brand new, if you've never seen this before, try this one out. The video for it's right here. You can click this link and watch it. The whole point of this process, by the way, is by using the volume bursts with a strategy that fits you, you custom tailor each trade to your personal psychology. Because picture it this way. You guys Google, Amazon, Facebook, and all these megalithic companies, they know you each have unique perspectives, unique brains, unique profiles. They profile you every day, and they use that to their advantage. They market to you based on your psychology all the time, and they capitalize on that. So picture flipping that table, flipping that script, and using your own psychology for yourself. Because if I see the market one way, Christian sees the market another way, one strategy may not work for us both, but if he has a strategy that works for him, a play, right, and I have a play that works for me, we have a higher probability of winning. One of the greatest analogies I like to use for this is picture you go into let's say the Aria in Las Vegas, right? The Aria Casino. Now I've got a friend who lives in Vegas, and no, it's not Chris Fritzeri. It's a different friend, but he told me one really cool trick for slot machines, right? So imagine I go sit at a slot machine. I don't know what I'm doing. I just sit down at a random one. I pull the lever. My chance is what? 50-50 of whether or not I'm going to win, right? 50-50. That's not very great odds. That means I have a 50% chance of losing whatever money I just put into this. But imagine you could sit down in that slot machine and through calculated risk, have a higher probability of winning on that slot machine, right? With the right tool or knowledge, you would be able to do that. So I'm going to give you guys a little bonus tip here of what my friend shared with me. And it's like using the web analyzer to your advantage in the markets, right? So if you go sit at a slot machine, the next time you do, look for the ones that have not been paid out in a while that are by the door. Why? Because the house wants other people who are near the door to see you winning because it attracts more people to come in and spend their money. So you're more likely, your probability is higher of winning at those slot machines. The market works the same way, you guys. If you have the right tools, you have the right knowledge, you have the right mindset, you have the ability for a higher probability of winning. If you lack those things, you have a lower probability of winning. And at the end of the day, Christian can't sit here and make guarantees to you. I can't make any guarantees to you. IML is not going to make any guarantees to you. But we for sure can increase your probability of winning through a variety of different ways. So one of the ways we do that is through, again, the volume bursts and your strategies. So let's say I want to look.
Hey, can you go through real quick? Sorry to cut you off. Mike Sotero's directly connected us as well too. So him and his dad have been using bounce back like super.
Oh, yeah.
So they love them some bounce back.
Yeah.
And I don't know if for those of you guys that aren't aware of Mike Sotero, Chairman 10, his dad's story of what he's been able to do with his trading account is like out of control. It's insane.
That's amazing.
Income claims, but he's taken less than 1,000 to multiple tens of thousands over the last 90 to 100 days or so, utilizing bounce back and SARs and a couple of different things. He got some confirmations, but a lot of it is with the web analyzer. He has a great training on it that he did a while ago for a team. So if you could go through that real quick, that'd be amazing.
Absolutely. So you guys, that's pretty much the spiel for tiers 1 through 3. On that note, bounce back started with the web analyzer. So when that got launched in November of 2018, we launched that with the web analyzer. That's the original power trade, by the way. So there's 2 ways you can use bounce back on the web analyzer, 2 ways. The first way in tier 2 is the original power trade. Now this is the bounce back strategy rolled into the alert. So every time you get one of these alerts, it means that the algorithm found the bounce back pattern plus a little bit of Chris Terry's sauce and a little bit of my sauce rolled into one. And that alert basically is there for you. The best way that we found to take it is pretty much follow the rules, right? So the rules consist of something along the lines of this, and I'll show you guys some videos that you can go over with it. But basically, let's say I've got we'll do one that's a little older, because these do take a little longer to play out, by the way. Let's see, 60-minute, 21:50. So I'm looking at the UTC time because that's the time the chart's in. And I'm looking at the date right here. So 4:30, right? 4:30, let's see, 4:30. Okay, and I'm looking at 22:30. So 22:30 is right in here. Okay, right there. 4:30 at 22:30, right in here. And that is, let's see. We'll click on this to open up the chart. So 22:30 right here, buy. So this one, let me tell you why you wouldn't have taken this based on the bounce back rules. Now you get the alert for the strategy and then you quickly verify it. Once you learn this, it takes 30 seconds or less. And I can tell you just by looking at it, you would not take this trade right here. Why? Okay. Because number one, the SAR's on top. And for a buy, you need the SAR to be on the bottom, which it's not, okay? And even if we drop down to the, let's see, the 5-minute, which is taught in some of the bounce back strategy, there's still, on 22:30, there's still one right here, right? But you have a Bollinger squeeze. You have these 2 lines. This is called a stochastic near the top. And you have the RSI in the middle, which none of these fit the rules. For a buy, you would have wanted to see this SAR on bottom on the 15-minute, right? You would have wanted to see right here the SAR on the bottom. You would have wanted to see this RSI at this time near the bottom. You would have wanted to see this near the bottom. So within 30 seconds or less, I can say, nope, not taking that trade, okay? Now, this is a really good strategy for getting in and just leaving it alone. We have a training actually in the Web Analyzer Facebook group that somebody just did. I'll show you guys real quick. He is a long time bounce back user. He has 3 streams of income. He has a business doing Christmas lights, a business doing websites, and a business doing trading, right? Just trading for his business. Now, when he's not doing Christmas lights or websites, or while he's working on a website, he'll go monitor a trade, set it up, leave it alone, come back, do his websites, come back. He just monitors it. He sets it and forgets it. And that is with Dawn. So Dawn, right here. So I'll paste this in the chat for you guys so you have this. Real quick, right here. Okay. So watch this training. He talks about his story. If you want to go towards the end, he kind of gets more into the training side of what he personally does and how he goes about things. But basically, that's one way you can do bounce back on the web analyzer, okay? Also, you can do it like this as well. You can use the bounce back strategy on the regular red and green alerts. And we actually have users who really like this method. They usually take off the 5 minute. I'm going to be honest. They usually use the 15 minute and higher. But the same rules. It's the same exact rules I just taught you, right? So if we were to click on this one, this potential sell 30 minutes ago, right? And we look at the UTC time, 5-1 at 1. So 5-1. 5-1 at 1 UTC. That's right here. This is a brand new one 30 minutes ago. And in Forex, for those of you who are brand new watching this, every single one of these candles is 1 hour. So this, you'd be basically vetting the rules at this time to see whether or not you wanted to get in 30 minutes ago. So this would be, do we have a SAR on top? No, we don't have a SAR on top. So there's two options you can do here. You can either say, look, I'm going to avoid this trade altogether, or I'm going to go ahead and wait for everything to line up. You do have the RSI on top, okay? You do have a MACD looking like it's headed downwards with momentum decreasing, which is good for a sell, a potential sell. You don't have the stochastic near the top yet. And you also have no SAR. So typically how we teach this, or how a lot of people use it, is they wait for that next SAR to come out on top. And as long as everything else lines up, they go ahead and enter. The beauty of this is when it says called at this price, it's your reference point for when the trade setup was called, but you can wait. And I'll do an analogy with you guys. Imagine you guys, how many of you guys in here are very gun friendly? If you guys like guns, this is a really good analogy. If you don't, then just bear with me, right? Anybody can pick up a gun, right? Anybody can pick one up. It doesn't mean you're going to be a very good shooter. It doesn't mean it's not going to go off and you're going to hurt someone. It just means you have the ability to pick it up and hold it, right? But imagine if you could put a magic scope on that gun, and that gun would tell you exactly where to look, the perfect target every time, okay? And then you have a simple set of rules of whether or not you should pull that trigger, how hard you should pull that trigger, or whether you should just walk away, put the gun down, okay? That's what the web analyzer is like. It's like your magic scope with your rules, your code of honor, whatever you want to call it, right? Your rules that say, look here, and do my rules say pull the trigger or not? Right now, your rules would say, no, don't pull the trigger. Wait till the target's perfectly in the crosshair, then pull the trigger. It's that simple, okay? So that's the bounce back broken down. Christian, by the way, if you want to bring Mike's dad on sometime, I'd love to do a Facebook Live with him and kind of let him show what he's doing and tell his story. That'd be awesome, man.
Yeah, I'll reach out to him here right after this call. I mean, he's seen like out of control results with bounce back, and it's so cool because he's a little bit older, and I'll just say wiser. He's like, he doesn't break rules. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't over leverage. He doesn't break his rules. It's like very like, this is what I do. And on a trade like that, that's exactly what it is. He has his couple rules, but it's basically like, he's like, cool, Euro NZD, sell limit, that's a trade idea. Here's my MACD, here's my stochastic. And then he just waits for the SAR to flip. And as soon as the SAR flips and he gets his confirmation, it's like, boom, full send, let it go.
Yep.
And I've watched it like numerous times, whether we've been hanging out on calls, whatever. And it's really cool to see. It's like, these are my rules. And as soon as it lines up with all these rules, and then the last confirmation is like SAR flips. And it's like, when SAR flips, it's like full send. And even if you don't get the perfect entry, you're not getting drawdown because you're understanding that you're moving now with you're moving with the trend, not betting against it, not trying to get the perfect wick entry. Your confirmations know your account's not going to go in a bunch of red before it's in blue.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, a lot of timing, a good way I like to put this is, and this works for any strategy, by the way, you guys, is imagine you're driving a car, right? You're driving a car 50 miles per hour, right? Let's say that's your upwards movement, your bullish momentum, right? You're going north, 50 miles an hour, bullish momentum. Now, let's say you want to go south, or you want to take a sell. Can you just turn the car around and go south when you're going 60 miles an hour? No, absolutely not. You do that, you're likely to die. Or in trading terms, you're likely to get some drawdown and kill your account. But if you wait until that momentum flips, until the timing is right? Let your car slow down, let that momentum slow down, and then turn around and take your sell, boom. Now you skipped the drawdown, you skipped the craziness, and you're ready to go. If you guys can master that, it will make a big difference. And it sounds like Mike's dad has really got that down, which is cool.
Yeah, and I think as well too, something that's important that you can talk about as well is the value and community of the Web Analyzer Facebook page. When I first got started in IML, I had no idea how to trade, never took a trade, didn't know what trading was. I didn't know what foreign exchange was. I was very aware of stocks, investments, different things like that, but really had no clue what Forex or, really what trading cryptocurrency was. And that was one of the first Facebook pages. And just from you could charge people just to be in there from the educational value. And obviously I know that you don't, which is amazing. So if you could maybe talk for just a couple minutes about how people can continue to stay plugged in the Facebook page, the value in the Facebook page. And I believe when I got started, the Web Analyzer originally cost money. Now it doesn't. Now there's certain tiers that obviously you can, as you grow with the product, you can continue, as you grow as a trader, you can level up throughout the process, which is epic.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what these tiers are. So to kind of go back in that flow, this is your tier for, you don't know what you're doing, your prospect, who you're introducing to the company, they don't know anything. So let someone else do the analysis and the work and let them just choose whether or not they want to do something with that. It's really simple, right? And then you have the tier 2, let them break into a little bit more work where they can feel like, okay, I got my hands a little bit in it. I'm doing a little bit of analysis, but most of the work is done for me. And I can still, kind of back off a little bit. And then 3 is like, all right, I want to get into this. I want most of the control. It's still only going to take anywhere from 1 to 5 minutes, but they have way more of that control of the analysis and they can do more with that, right? So, by the way, what Christian was referencing, a piece of what he was referencing is you have the ability to do Forex, crypto, indices, and metals with tier 3. Now, we were actually the first in iMarkets Live to crypto, indices, and metals. Swipecoin didn't exist when we launched crypto. Gold Cup didn't exist when we launched indices. A lot of these other apps weren't out when we first launched these things. And these strategies and rules, they work pretty much the same for all these different classes. Like if I click crypto, you can see right here, it's kind of like the same thing, right? Same thing, click, follow my rules. Is the play good? No? All right, don't execute. Is the play ready to execute? Great, hop in the trade, follow my rules. What does my play say to do, right? Am I going left? Am I going right? You do what your play says. Now, under the 3 tiers, you've got the education session, and I'll tie in, the Facebook group and our whole ecosystem, because you guys, even just looking at these 3 tiers, think about this. As you guys are building your business, you're not going to want to sit with every single prospect and answer all their questions, not necessarily because you don't want to, because you don't have the time. Imagine you enroll 100 people. Can you really tell me that you're going to have all day to sit there and answer every single person? And they've probably got like 12 questions each. Trading's not easy, you guys. It's going to be a lot. So we created an ecosystem so that you can basically say, hey, come in my business. Let me show you the opportunity. Let me show you how I'm winning or how people are winning, which I'll show you how you can show other people who are winning. Plug them into the system and be their friend. Form a relationship with them, but let us and my ecosystem take care of the work of teaching them, right? So we do that with recorded videos, and then we have a TV section. This is like IML TV. They basically pick what time works best for them, okay? They watch it. The cool thing about this is that these educators, they make it their life to go teach about the software, answer questions, and even live trade with your prospects. So your prospects can earn while they learn, which is really important, because think about this. Within 72 hours or less, a week or less, somebody doesn't even have to know anything about trading. They can use tier 1, they can utilize the TV sessions, and they can already be earning while they're learning. Imagine what that can do for the retention of your business, right? And then to top it all off, we have this awesome thing called the Facebook group, which I just showed you for a minute. Which I just showed you for a minute in that group. But this Facebook group we started at the very beginning. And this is a really valuable piece simply because it's a whole community. And look how many people are in this. You guys, that's a lot of people. And they're from all around the world. So you can come in here and you can do a couple of different things. You can attend my trainings, which I do. Today I just did a training, right? This was with an actual financial advisor who was a major in the military. She's now retired. She literally was able to share with us how our system in the United States is broken, how it's rigged, how things don't work, and how people who are about to hit their 70s, or if you're young right now and you've got a traditional job, you're not going to be retiring the way you think you are. She breaks down numbers. We talk about mindset. It's a lot of cool things. And then other trainings we do on actual strategies. We have customers come in and share their stories. You can also come in here and ask a question like this right here. This is really important for your prospects who they can't attend an IML TV session. You can't answer every question they have. You've got a life too, and you've got lots of different people you're enrolling, right? So they need a place where they can come in and get support. And this is it. They can say, hey, I need the copy of the rules for the ECC 11 strategy. Where can I find that? Boom, right here. Somebody answered their question. Out of 45,000 people, you're bound to get an answer day or night because they're all around the world, right? Same thing, another question. And then if we scroll down, so I go through and once a question is answered, I'll delete them. Unless they're a frequently asked question, in which case I'll either pin it or I will add it to a list of questions we have. But we keep things where customers get celebrated. We come in here and we tell our customers, when you're winning, if you're losing, come ask us questions. If you're winning, come tell us and we'll celebrate you, right? So one of those celebrations is, let's see, let me scroll down for a little bit. We get these all day long. So another power trade, 25 pips, right? So somebody's saying, hey, I just got 25 pips, right? I've started testing the money flow, 5 out of 5 won, right? Notifications, they're talking about the notifications. Another question, this skill set is fire. ECC 11 is explosive, 4 for 4, right? Another question, 10 out of 12 trades won with the ECC 11 since Thursday of last week, right? So there's a couple of different things. Just to recap, this person's doing 70% success, which if you guys know, you don't even have to have 50% success to be in net profit. You can win 50% of the time and have more net profit than the guy winning 80% of the time because it all comes down to your net, right? But just to recap, you guys, your prospects or you can come in here, ask questions, attend trainings, post yourselves when you're winning, or show your prospects, hey, look at all these customer results of people who are winning with our company products, which if you haven't experienced results yet because you're new, can be really, really powerful for your business and your ability to build, because you can come in here and just show the sheer number of people winning, right? The sheer number. If you scroll down, look, 24 out of 25 right here. If you just scroll down, you're going to find plenty of people winning. That's powerful because we all know our customers, they're skeptical. They don't know about Forex. They don't know about trading. They don't know what they don't know, and we can't hold that against them. But we can come in here and show them, like, look, come in here, look at all these people winning. Let me teach you how. You can show them the software just the way I showed you. Start them off with tier 1, plug them into the IML TV sessions, and boom, they're plugged into an ecosystem. And 72 hours or less, they can be earning while they're learning. you guys, if you're not utilizing this, I strongly believe this can catalyze your ability to build your business. And if you are utilizing the Web Analyzer, you've now got more tools than ever at your disposal for potentially making all your money, right? So does anybody have any questions so far? And you can put them in the chat if you have any. There's no stupid questions. You guys, I know that some people on a lot of these Zooms that I do, they don't want to ask questions because they don't want to be the odd duck out. They don't know what to ask. Ask whatever's on your mind. If you can't walk away from this and use this yourself, now's your time to ask me. Let's see, do we have to have the bounce back add-on? No. So with the Web Analyzer, you go to your back office, you get the Web Analyzer. That original bounce back power trade comes with your Web Analyzer. That's no additional cost. If you have the Web Analyzer, you have this. This is the old style bounce back though. The new style with Stevenson, Dre, and all that, that's a whole different way to do bounce back. It's a whole separate product. So just keep that in mind. The difference between the two is your experience. You don't get Stevenson and Dre in this. It's an older style of how we do things. It's the old style of rules that we officially launched in November 2018. There's a whole different way to do things in the other application. Yeah, you're welcome. Does anybody have any other questions?
I'll just say one thing real quick too. I think the Web Analyzer is amazing. I use both the Web Analyzer and the harmonic scanner for trade confirmations. So a lot of times, let's say Swipe Trades puts out a trade, Gold Cup puts out a trade, an IML TV educator on a session puts out a trade idea or a setup. I will utilize the harmonic scanner. I'll utilize the Web Analyzer as confirmations. And so whenever you go to Triple Fire or whenever you go to a bounce back or whenever you go to whatever, and you start to see that, it's like same idea. It's like, you know, it's funny because a lot of times the Web Analyzer and the harmonic scanner put out very similar trades. And it's like certain people like, yo, harmonic scanner put out this, and certain people like, yo, Web Analyzer put out this. It's like, to me, looking at that as like, okay, confirmation, run it through the rules, SAR flips, like, you know, drop the hammer.
We actually have a lot of users who do that. That's actually the number one product that I see used with the Web Analyzer is actually harmonic scanner, because people say the exact same thing. And they mostly use it with bounce back, by the way. They're like, harmonic scanner called a trade, Web Analyzer called a trade. That's double confirmation. Boom, I'm taking that bounce back trade. It's pretty cool.
100%. So a lot of times, even if you're not using it necessarily first, or maybe you are using lighting first, you know, whether it's Web Analyzer first, harmonic scanner first, you know, educator first, it doesn't matter. Those are all, that trio between IML TV, harmonic scanner, and Web Analyzer, those are three phenomenal tools where you can use as multiple confirmations, you know, before you enter a trade. And just so you know, that Euro NZD setup, I don't know if SARs have flipped yet, but that 30 or that 15-minute candle just closed like 7 pips, 10 pips lower than whenever we looked at it. So that Euro NZD trade is, if it breaks out, I've got it marked up on mine. If it breaks out, where the original entry was, I'm gonna enter that sell. So
there you guys go. So that was Euro NZD and NZD US. Wait, no, we were on the other one. Hold on, tier 3. So what he was showing you, I'll just pull that up for you guys. Bounce back, save right here. No 5, Euro NZD right here. So what he's talking about is right here. We want this to close. But yeah, you guys, just so you guys know, the Web Analyzer is the top product in the company. We've got the most people on it. We've been generating more testimonials than any other product in the company. And we've been doing this for almost 2 years now. When we came in, within 90 days, we generated more customer testimonials than all the products that IML had combined within 90 days. And we haven't stopped that trend. And you can literally scroll through this group, like right here. I just scroll down, rather have profits than losses, right? 3-second analysis meets this criteria, boom. And then you can see some trades they took, right? And they have to block out all the profits. So they have to block out all the numbers. They're not allowed to show the numbers. But you can scroll through this and literally forever find questions and people winning 6 out of 6, right? No, this guy posted before his first post, winning with this strategy, right? Same thing. You can scroll it through this forever. And I'm pretty proud of that because, like I said, for me, this product has been the first thing that we started with in IML when I came in. Actually, it's it's interesting that it's you guys are all on a very special team, because I told Christian what I was going to do before I came to iMarkets Live, before the web analyzer was called the web analyzer, before the software was here. Christian and I met in a mastermind in Las Vegas, and we hit it off really, really awesome. Like it was an instant friendship. And I told him, hey, this is what I'm going to do. And now you guys are here with Christian actually over 2 years later. And we're talking about this, and I'm showing you exactly what I told Christian I was going to do 2 years ago. So it's freaking awesome. Do you guys have any questions? Because I want to make sure that especially your team is taken care of, because Christian's a really good friend of mine, and that means you guys are all my friends.
Bro, such a crazy story. I think I'm gonna send everybody afterwards into the Facebook page for anything they need. And then if you're cool with it, Steven, I would add you into, we got like a 1% traders chat. So we've got like Luke Longmire, Christopher Derrick, a couple other of the educators that are involved in there and that drop some value. A lot of trade talk. It's just all trade talk, all directly product focused, education focused. So if you're cool with it, I'll add you into that Telegram, as well as just another amazing piece of wisdom in there. So I just want to say I appreciate you, bro. I remember sitting in this beautiful penthouse. I think it was at the Aria, and this was before you did anything. Literally before you did anything with iMarkets Live, that you had this creation, you had the software, you had this idea, and you were looking for a home that would not just, it would see results in, but you were looking for a home to be able to impact as many people and help as many people win. And it was so crazy because you threw out the idea of potentially partnering with IML versus another company. And and I was not involved in iMarkets Live at the time. However, Alex was a really good friend of mine, Jason, Matt, really good friends of mine, and a few other people. And I was like, yo, I think if you could pull this off, bro, like this would be epic. And then here we are 2+ years later, and it's beyond epic. 45,000 plus people on the page.
Now we're here changing lives. We did it.
Let's go.
So yeah, I'd love to be in the chat. You guys feel free to reach out to me anytime in the Facebook group or on my Facebook page. I'm more than happy to help all of you. So whatever you guys need, just let me know.
Perfect. This call was recorded, so we'll throw it up on YouTube. Steven, man, I really appreciate your time. We'll do a follow-up call where we'll bring on a couple people that have been utilizing the product that you can do a call with, and then I'll connect you so we can get something amazing going on for a Facebook Live in the page. So I appreciate you, bro. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I know we'll be linking up soon.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. And you guys have we got a few chats, but thank you guys for a good night.
Perfect.
All right.